You wake up one morning feeling exhausted. Your alarm has already been ringing for several minutes, but you keep pressing the snooze button. Eventually, you force yourself out of bed and walk into the kitchen. You prepare your favorite breakfast, chocolate pancakes covered in syrup and a cold glass of cola. While getting ready for work, you open Instagram and begin scrolling. Then you see a photograph of Cristiano Ronaldo relaxing beside a huge swimming pool. Behind him is a beautiful mansion overlooking the ocean. On the table beside him are expensive sunglasses, a watch, and the keys to a supercar. You look around your small apartment and then back at the photograph. You wonder how good your life would be if you were him. No boring job, no crowded buses, no worrying about money. You could wake up whenever you wanted, drive supercars, travel in a private jet, play football, and spend the rest of the day relaxing beside your swimming pool. You save the photograph and leave for work. The entire day feels slow. Your manager gives you more work, your lunch tastes terrible, and it begins raining just as you leave the building. When you finally return home, you are completely exhausted. You lie in bed and look at Ronaldo's photograph one more time. You quietly wish that you could live his life for just one day. A few seconds later, you fall asleep. The next morning, an alarm begins ringing at 6 o'clock. You reach for your phone, but it isn't where you normally leave it. The alarm continues ringing from the other side of the room. You open your eyes. This isn't your bedroom. You are lying in an enormous bed inside a luxurious mansion. Beyond the windows, you can see the ocean, several supercars, and the exact swimming pool from the Instagram photograph. You jump out of bed and rush into the bathroom. When you look into the mirror, Cristiano Ronaldo is staring back at you. You touch your face, and the reflection does the same. You smile and attempt his famous celebration in front of the mirror. Your wish has come true. You are Cristiano Ronaldo. Before you can explore the mansion, somebody knocks on the door. Your morning workout begins in 10 minutes. You quickly put on your training clothes and run downstairs. On the way, you pass a room filled with trophies, another filled with expensive shoes, and a garage containing more cars than you can count. You try to stop and look around, but your trainer calls your name. Breakfast is already waiting. There are eggs, fruit, yogurt, avocado, and water. You ask for chocolate, pancakes, and cola. Everyone in the room suddenly becomes silent. A moment later, a plate of eggs is placed in front of you. You finish eating and enter the private gym. The workout begins immediately. You sprint on a treadmill, lift weights, jump over obstacles, perform push-ups, and complete exercise after exercise. You think it will last 20 minutes. An hour later, you are still training. You stop to catch your breath, but your trainer throws you a ball and tells you to begin another drill. You had imagined Ronaldo spending his mornings beside the pool. Instead, you are jumping, running, sweating, and wondering how much longer your legs can survive. When the workout finally ends, you fall onto the floor. Your trainer tells you to get up. Football training begins in 30 minutes. You barely have enough time to shower before you are taken into the garage. Several incredible cars are parked in front of you. You choose a bright supercar, start the engine, and race out of the garage. For the first time that morning, you feel exactly how you imagined Ronaldo must feel. The road follows the ocean. The roof is down, the sun is shining, and the engine roars every time you accelerate. Then another car begins following you. You turn left, and it turns left. You speed up, and it speeds up. For a moment, you think someone is chasing you. Then your security team contacts you and explains that photographers have been following the car since you left the villa. You try to lose them, but more photographers are waiting near the training ground. The moment you arrive, hundreds of fans surround the entrance. They hold up shirts, footballs, and phones while shouting Ronaldo's name. Security tries to move you through the crowd, but you notice a young boy holding an old Ronaldo shirt. You stop and sign it. Immediately, everyone rushes toward you. One person asks for a photograph, then another. Within seconds, you are trapped in the middle of the crowd. Security pulls you away and takes you inside. You look back and see the young boy celebrating as though he has just scored a winning goal. There is no time to think about it. Your teammates are already waiting on the pitch. At first, you are terrified. You may look like Ronaldo, But you have no idea whether you can actually play like him. The ball is passed toward you. You control it perfectly. A defender runs at you, but your body moves on its own. You push the ball past him, sprint forward, and fire a shot toward the goal. The ball flies into the top corner. Everyone continues training as if nothing unusual happened. You stand there in disbelief. The next pass arrives. This time, you flick the ball over a defender's head and score again. Now you are enjoying yourself. You begin trying everything: long shots, skill moves, headers, and volleys. Your body seems capable of doing whatever you imagine. Then the team begins a sprinting drill, and the fun disappears immediately. You race from one end of the pitch to the other. Before you can recover, you have to do it again and again and again. After the sprints come passing drills, shooting drills, and tactical exercises. Every time you think training is finished, another coach appears with another plan. During the final practice match, you receive the ball near the penalty area. You dribble past one defender and prepare to shoot. Another player slides toward you. He misses the ball and hits your leg. You crash onto the ground. Pain shoots through your ankle, and the entire training session suddenly stops. The medical team runs onto the pitch. For several terrifying seconds, nobody knows whether you will be able to play in the match that evening. You slowly stand up and test your ankle. It hurts, but you can walk. The coaches tell you to stop training and take you inside for treatment. Your phone is already full of notifications. Someone recorded the tackle from outside the training ground. The video has spread across social media, and people are asking whether Ronaldo has suffered a serious injury. You watch the number of views climb from thousands to millions in minutes. One person says your career is over. Another says you are pretending to be injured. A third blames your teammate. You close the app. Next comes the recovery session. Your ankle is examined, your muscles are stretched, and then you are told to enter an ice bath. You place one foot in the water and immediately pull it out. The water is freezing. You ask whether there is another option. There isn't. You step inside and instantly regret every decision that brought you to this moment. While you sit in the ice, your assistant reads out the rest of your schedule: lunch, a sponsor photo shoot, a meeting, a charity visit, another light workout, and then the match. You interrupt and ask when you can use the swimming pool. Your assistant looks at the schedule. There are 11 free minutes after the sponsor photo shoot. You begin to understand that the pool in the photograph was not Ronaldo's entire day. It may have been the only 11 free minutes he had. After recovery, you eat another healthy meal. Then you are driven directly to a photo shoot. Bright lights surround you as soon as you enter the studio. A photographer tells you where to stand, where to look, and how to hold a pair of expensive shoes. You smile for the first photograph, then the second, then the 20th. After that, you record a short advertisement. You forget one line and have to begin again. On the 7th attempt, you finally say everything correctly. You are ready to leave. But the photographer wants one more photograph. One photograph becomes 50. When the photo shoot finally ends, you look at the time. Your 11 free minutes are gone. There will be no swimming pool. You are taken to a children's hospital for a charity visit. At first, you are thinking only about how tired you feel. Then you enter a room and meet a young patient wearing a Ronaldo shirt. The child's eyes widen when you walk through the door. You give him a signed football and sit beside his bed. He tells you that he watches every match and wants to become a footballer one day. Before you leave, he asks you to perform the famous celebration with him. You stand together, jump, and shout the celebration. For a moment, the difficult schedule no longer matters. You realize that being Ronaldo gives you the power to make someone's worst day a little better. Outside the hospital, however, another crowd is waiting. People push forward for photographs. Cameras flash in your face. Someone grabs your arm. Another person shouts a question about the injury, and reporters block the path toward the car. Security finally gets you inside, but the crowd follows until you drive away. You return to the villa late in the afternoon. At last, you have a chance to enjoy the life you imagined. You walk past the collection of supercars, put on an expensive watch, and head toward the pool. You sit in the exact place from the Instagram photograph. The ocean looks perfect. The water is clear, the sun is warm, and there is nobody else around. But you cannot enjoy it. Your ankle still hurts. Your entire body is exhausted. Your phone will not stop ringing. The match begins soon. Photographers are watching the villa from a distance, and thousands of people are discussing your injury online. Your assistant reminds you that the team bus will arrive in 5 minutes. You have only just sat down. You look at the pool and laugh. Yesterday, you imagined Ronaldo spending his entire life here. Today, you discover that he barely has enough time to touch the water. You go upstairs and prepare for the match. When you leave the villa, the photographers follow you again. By the time you reach the stadium, videos of your arrival are already online. People are analyzing the way you walked from the car. Some believe your ankle is seriously injured. Others say you look completely fine. Nobody knows the truth, but everyone has an opinion. Inside the dressing room, the medical team examines your ankle one final time. It is still painful, but you insist on playing. You put on the shirt and follow your teammates toward the tunnel. The walls begin shaking from the noise outside. Then the doors open. You walk onto the pitch in front of a packed stadium. Thousands of supporters rise and shout Ronaldo's name. For a few seconds, you forget the exhaustion. You forget the ice bath, the photo shoot, the reporters, and the pain in your ankle. All you can hear is the crowd. The match begins. Every time the ball comes toward you, 2 defenders surround you. They push you, pull your shirt, and try to stop you from turning. You manage to escape and shoot from outside the penalty area. The goalkeeper saves it. The crowd groans. A few minutes later, you miss another chance. You look toward the stands. Some supporters are already becoming frustrated. The same people who shouted your name when you entered the stadium now expect you to produce something incredible. The opposing team scores just before half-time. As you walk toward the dressing room, cameras follow your face. You know that if you look angry, people will criticize you. If you smile, they will accuse you of not caring. You keep your head down and continue walking. During the break, the coach tells the team to remain calm. Your ankle is becoming worse. The medical staff suggests that you stop playing, but you refuse. You did not wish to become Ronaldo just to sit on the bench. The second half begins. You receive the ball, turn, and sprint toward the goal. A defender tackles you, and the pain returns immediately. You fall to the ground. The stadium becomes silent. For a few seconds, you stay on the grass. The easy choice would be to leave the match. Then, you hear the crowd chanting Ronaldo's name. You stand up. The game continues. With 15 minutes remaining, your team is still losing. You chase a long pass toward the corner, reach it before the defender, and send the ball into the penalty area. Your teammate scores. The match is level. The stadium comes alive again. There are only 2 minutes left when your team wins a free kick. The ball is far from the goal. Your teammates look toward you. So does the entire stadium. You place the ball on the grass and take several steps backward. You have taken 1 free kick during training. Now millions of people are watching this one. The referee blows the whistle. You run forward and strike the ball. It rises over the wall, curves through the air, and hits the crossbar. The ball bounces back onto the pitch. For a fraction of a second, everyone freezes. You sprint toward it, jump above the nearest defender, and head it into the goal. The stadium explodes. You run toward the corner and perform Ronaldo's famous celebration. Thousands of supporters jump and shout with you. Your teammates surround you. Cameras flash from every direction. At that moment, being Ronaldo feels better than you ever imagined. Then the final whistle blows. You expect to go home, but the night is not finished. First, you give an interview beside the pitch, then another inside the stadium. Reporters ask about the goal, the missed chances, the tackle, and your injured ankle. One journalist asks whether you are becoming too old to keep playing. Another asks whether tonight's performance proves you are still the best. You carefully answer the questions while all you want to do is sit down. After the interviews, you sign shirts and footballs. You meet sponsors, take photographs with guests, and record a message for the supporters. By the time you leave, most of the stadium is empty. Outside, fans are still waiting. You stop to sign a few shirts, but more people rush toward the car. Security asks you to get inside before someone gets hurt. As the car drives away, you look through the window. People continue chasing you down the street. You finally return to the villa after midnight. The mansion is silent. You walk past the expensive cars without stopping. You no longer care which one is fastest. You pass the swimming pool, but you are too tired to use it. You enter the trophy room and look around. Yesterday, you thought the trophies represented an easy, perfect life. Now, they look completely different. Each trophy represents thousands of early mornings, painful training sessions, missed holidays, strict meals, injuries, criticism, and matches played under enormous pressure. You remember the photograph on Instagram. It showed a beautiful pool, a mansion, and a famous footballer relaxing beneath the sun. It didn't show the alarm at 6 in the morning. It didn't show the exhausting workout, the tackle, the ice bath, the endless cameras, the crowds, the reporters, or the pressure of carrying an entire team. But it also didn't show the young fans celebrating after receiving an autograph, the child smiling inside the hospital, or the sound of an entire stadium exploding after a winning goal. Ronaldo's life is more exciting than yours. It is also far more difficult. You go upstairs, fall onto the bed, and close your eyes. The next morning, your old alarm begins ringing. You open your eyes and see your ordinary bedroom. The mansion is gone. The ocean has disappeared. There are no expensive watches, supercars, security guards, or crowds waiting outside. You run to the bathroom and look in the mirror. You are yourself again. At first, you feel disappointed. Then you realize that nobody is forcing you to wake up at 6. Nobody is measuring your breakfast. Nobody is following you with a camera. You can go outside without security, make a mistake without millions of people seeing it, and sit beside a pool for as long as you want. You return to your bedroom and notice a signed football shirt lying beside the bed. Ronaldo's name is written across the back. You pick it up and smile. You may no longer be Cristiano Ronaldo, but you now understand that his extraordinary life isn't as perfect as it seems. Behind the fame, trophies, mansions, and supercars is a life filled with constant pressure, exhausting work, strict discipline, and enormous sacrifice. You wanted everything he had. For one day, you also had to give up everything he gives up. You walk into the kitchen and look at the chocolate pancakes and cola. Then, you look at the old running shoes near the door. You eat one pancake, drink a glass of water, put on the shoes, and step outside. You no longer want to become Cristiano Ronaldo, but you would not mind borrowing some of his discipline.